Hack the Planet number 7, I think. Yes, 7. Hack the Planet 7, where we take on the Mirrored, at least a little sect of them, anyway. And you have a crew advance to take on, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Question then, what would the vehicle, which is now the spinner, we got one box in that, but there are 2 boxes. If we took a second box in that, what would that give us? Like
armor.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah, and then you can get a second one and then armor that as well.
Oh wow, crazy. Okay. I don't know. Do either of you two have any thoughts on what we want to upgrade?
I think that at one point, Blue wanted a crew. Maybe we should work towards a crew.
We could definitely do that. Yeah, I think it's what it costs 2 for a new cohort, I think. So that would be our entire upgrade if we wanted to add a cohort. Yeah.
Yeah, you could add a normal cohort, or you could add a specialized NPC.
Right. Okay.
What have we been missing in the group? Have we needed something like on any given mission?
That's a good question.
No, we're awesome.
What was that?
So no, we're too awesome. We don't need to.
We're too awesome. Yeah.
I haven't felt any significant gaps yet in our skill sets and everything. I don't know. We've done well with social stuff. We've done well with infiltration so far. We've done pretty dang well with just kind of balls to the wall combat. I don't know.
Maybe people would be good if the goal is like to be a big drug operation.
Yeah.
Adam, what is our end goal? What do we want to be?
That's a good question.
When we grow up.
Is it just kind of a drug empire that we're looking for, or are we I don't know.
Or is it just like you think? Yeah.
I think Bergen wants fame. I think he's going to leave this all behind once he's got his stacks and stacks.
Nice. Let me see.
I think VD wants I think VD probably wants a big shop and stuff that she can be proud of that sells drugs, I guess.
Nice.
She wants the empire.
Be the spider of the roots.
Well, I could see us doing another dot in secure, or last time you had suggested another dot in one of the training pieces, insider prowess, which I think makes sense. The resolve helps me, I think.
Yeah.
But I could also use insight. I think that.
Yeah, any of those, I think those would be good things to get eventually at some point anyway. Just depends on when we want to take it, probably. Yeah. Let's see, I'm looking at the different cohort types, and are your cohort types pretty analogous to what's in Blades?
Yeah, there was only 2 changes. Let me bring up the changes. Well, there's troop that you won't need. Troop is like the adepts, the scholars, tinkerers, and stuff like that, except that I've adapted them to be exactly what the shifters need, like people that run a convoy and do all that stuff. So that's what they start with. And there was one other change because the name didn't make sense. The skulks are something else. The runners, yeah, I changed it to runners. So the runners are scouts, infiltrators, couriers of data, and thieves.
Okay. What page is this on of the document? Is it in there? Or is it also...
no, it's in the quick start.
Oh, okay.
Thing, yeah. Yeah, Lauren understands because she proofread it.
Nice. Okay. Because I'm just looking at the gang types that we could get. If we wanted a cohort here, there's adepts, which are and tell me. So which is changed of these?
Adepts are troops.
Troops. Okay.
The troop, yeah. And then rooks are the same, rovers are the same. Skulks are called runners instead, and then thugs.
Gotcha. Okay. Rooks are, let's see, that's interesting because that's con artists, spies, and socialites. I could see them being our drug dealers, out on every corner kind of deal, or going to parties and selling stuff for us. That could be interesting if we wanted to do that.
Alternatively, the expert is neat because it says that you know, you can do a doctor, an investigator, an
Right.
occultist, an assassin, a spy, etc.
Right. Yeah. If we wanted just one person instead of like a gang kind of deal, like just a really cool single dude, you know.
Yeah, who's
Do that.
specifically good at something, and it's tier +1, so they'd be pretty good at it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you, especially for this job, if there's something that you want to do, and then have them fill it.
Right. Right. Boy.
Lou was like a sniper, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we got.
He's dead now.
Yeah. Let's see. Boy, I don't know. Any thoughts what we should pick real quick here? Yeah. If you guys want to do a cohort, we can totally just roll with that and make it happen right now, or we can, or an expert cohort or expert. Or I guess those are similar things. Oh, so it's cohorts, and then their choices are gang or expert. Okay.
Yeah. And then similarly with all of them, you do edges and flaws. And
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Or it says you can add an additional type to the gang or expert.
Mhm.
So you could just keep the folks that you have. Because we haven't shown it on screen yet, but with your tier up, there'd be, like 3 more people at least or something. You went from 1 to 3 people to like, what does the book say? 3 to 6 or something like that, right? With tier?
Somewhere in that range, I think, yeah. I have a question then. Do we want to do a cohort now? Or I know Lou was kind of the one spearheading that idea. Or do we want to wait for another crew upgrade to like let him have some input on that since he was super high on it?
That's true.
Yeah, I don't want to take that away from him.
Yeah, I feel like they're not going to be super pertinent to whatever shenanigans we're about to get up to. So.
Right.
Famous last words.
I know.
Okay, so then should we pick a new special ability, one of those checkboxes, or one of those bubbles on the, just new special things, or should we do 2 checkboxes elsewhere?
Yeah, you could, if there's a move that you're pretty into.
Yeah, there's some cool ones. I think we should get addicted once we get a good cohort, because that would be very cool. Just adds quality to them and adds some, yeah, that'd be pretty good. Yeah. But other than that, I'm not seeing any of those that are really speaking to me massively at the moment.
Well, you can take it from any.
Yeah.
You just choose veteran, right?
Right. Yeah. I just haven't had time to look at all the other crew books, and I don't want to like waste all our time here. I don't know if that makes sense right now. While we're.
Well, there's always each one has their version of yours, where you get an extra action rating and something. Like Comets have Born to Steal, which gives you Ghost, Finesse, or Modify right away.
That's true. Those are very cool.
Synchronize, when you perform a group action, you may count multiple 6s from different rolls as a critical success.
That's such a good one. Yeah, that is such a cool ability. I would vote we take that at least at some point, but I don't know if we want to do it now or later, because it's so powerful.
I feel like all of us just have a lot of FOMO and we're not good together. I'm enjoying it. No, I agree. That sounds good.
Yeah. Do we want to do that, or do we want to do a couple of tick boxes? I don't want to like make decisions for us here, so I'm just looking at stuff, trying to see what you guys are interested in.
It all sounds amazing.
You should, when Lou's back, you should show him the like part of the family. Create one of your vehicles as a cohort. Use the vehicle's edges and flaws below. Its quality is equal to your crew's tier +1. That seems like what he thinks that van is anyway. So.
Totally.
Yeah, basically turn it into like an awesome, like a character in and of itself, like the Scooby van, stuff like that would be good.
Yeah,
I'd be into that.
But yeah, otherwise, yeah, whatever you guys think.
So I vote either that special ability, or we tick one of the training things plus like another secure or something. You guys have a vote either way on that, or any other ideas?
Sorry, say that again. 3 ticks.
2 ticks. Either like get one of the trainings plus a secure, which like you were talking about, or get that special ability that lets us like superpower our group. Or what are they called?
The group action thingies.
Group action, yeah, things, yeah.
Yeah, you can. If somebody gets a 6 and somebody else gets a 6, it's a crit.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, let's do that. That's my vote.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
that special
I'm down.
ability. Okay, cool. And what cruise sheet is that off of, Fraser?
That is comets synchronized.
Okay, I'll add it to our thing here as we're doing stuff.
Hmm.
Comments. Where'd you go?
And you already have rigging, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be good for this one, probably. Cool.
Sorry. That was a hiccup.
Are you excited, Lord?
I'm always excited to play Hack the Planet.
Excited to be synchronized.
Hmm.
Never
So
been
it's-
synchronized before. Cool. And then we just need to decide what your plan actually is going to be.
Right. All right. So I got synchronized added to the cruise sheet.
Mhm.
Down at the bottom there. Cool.
Yeah. So at one point, it was going to be deception, because you were going to basically just show that it had been taken over, and then they would stop going there. And then J5 had a different idea. Are you still pitching that, J5?
A better idea. Thank you very much.
What was the idea again? Can you refresh my memory on it?
Yeah, now I don't remember it all. I think it was how we create a reproduction of their den, but instead of them, I forget what their vice den was supposed to be, but we would instead align it with our drug and get them all hooked on our drug.
Yeah, the space is set up like it could be a den, but it's not a den right now.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Like right now, it's just a series of whole bunch of like change rooms, and it looks really cultist-ish and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like these people walk in and then mirrors walk out, so you assume that they're getting changed in there. And when you quickly saw you were tailing somebody, that's what you saw, is somebody like walk into essentially a change room, and then beyond it, it basically looked like a hallway with tons of apartments on either sides of the hallway, and then at the far end was like a living space where a whole bunch of people were congregating, and then the people who were checking it out left so as to not get spotted.
Right. So your plan was to instead of like, because we'd originally talked about changing, because we got whatever the little dongle or whatever the little thing is that lets us go through that spinning door and shoots us off into the alternate hallway to get to this hideout. So it was to either change how that's encoded so they can't get in, but we can, and then we just take over the space. Or your ideas was instead, wasn't it like to like go like sneak in, basically gas them with our drug and get them hooked on our stuff so that it was
so they became customers in the vice den at the same time, basically.
Right.
And
I don't know if it would count as a vice den for us at that point. Would it, or would it not?
That's a good question.
After the score is complete, technically what you're doing, like the job is to take the vice den a turf thing, right? Like off the sheet.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. So
I think the latter plan, and I'm not actually, like, as a player, I'm not advocating for this. I'm just offering this up as perhaps fictional positioning, which is if we do succeed in this plan, in J5's plan, the better plan, we could fictionally justify Lou's desire for a cohort, right? Because now you have people coming in who are supposed to turn into mirrors and now are turning into the addicted. And then we can take both the addicted and we can get like a cohort.
Not a bad pitch.
I like it. Yeah, I'm into it.
How do you plan on recreating an entire space, though?
So I think, yeah, that's a great question, Fish. It really makes you think. So I think that Jesse's way of framing it as like we break in and like mess with something like we tried to do a while ago, which backfired. I think that that's probably the easiest path. Alternatively,
Well,
I'm not sure. Sorry, go ahead.
what if you use the subway to do something from below them and flood their own rooms with the stuff?
I like that. That could be very cool.
Instead of trying to make a space that might not exist.
Yeah. This dongle, like I imagine it is like you walk into a revolving door, and it like, is there only one other direction that one can go down in that revolving door, or are there multiple branches?
It's only one. So normally when a customer's going through, there's like the entrance to the lobby that you're looking at when you're like going through a sliding door, and then usually you just exit because the lobby's right there.
Right.
They continue a little to the left, and there's like an alcove, and when they have the dongle on, it basically opens it like a sliding door opens, and they continue to walk and then just walk into that alcove. That should just be a wall, but it is instead is like between the walls.
Okay. Yeah, in which case I think Jesse's idea works better.
Because it was like, so you're gonna make a space between the wall on the right side or something?
Well, I was thinking, like, if this is the way I had originally envisioned it, was a revolving door in which there might be different tunnels. And so one of the tunnels would be guarded where you need the dongle, but the other tunnels might not be, in which case it would be easier to take over. And then we could sort of set up shop there, alter the dongle to take them to our space. But I actually like, I mean, Jesse's plan, I think, or Jesse's plan sort of fits better, because then you're actually taking over their space. So
Yeah, because technically the mission is to get the fictional positioning of the den after it's done.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so what is the plan then? Also, somebody just knocked on my door, so just
Then let's talk amongst ourselves and
Yeah,
figure
okay.
this out.
Now we get to discuss like the real plan. how the
Yeah.
crazy
So
stuff.
then, what do you guys think? I mean,
sorry, hold on. My wife is shouting at a tree. Keep me listening.
It's your commitment, guys.
should we just take a short break here? I'm gonna go get a couple of bites of food. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. I'll just sit here. I'll see you soon.
Where'd everybody go?
We ran
Aaron
away.
was, yeah, Aaron was likewise called away, and then JC was like, "Let's take a break." I was like, "Cool."
Oh, you were called away too?
Aaron was.
Oh,
And
Aaron
so
was.
yeah, he left, and then it was just the two of us. I'm like, I'm gonna go get a couple of bites to eat. All right.
That's pretty funny. It was like,
We just
How
all
long
kind of
was I
left one by
gone?
one.
How long was I gone? Did you guys come to a consensus?
Nope.
No, Aaron had to run right after you did.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Before he gets back, I guess we could chat about it. So the plan then, we're going to like re-encode their entry program thing so that we can access it and they can't, kind of deal. I honestly, and like you said last time, I think, Fraser, is like, once it's like, this is supposed to be a secret hideout of theirs that we discovered through our gather info stuff. Once they realize someone has been messing with it, they realize it's compromised and they're probably not even going to want it anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's our assumption.
Honestly, almost all we have to do is probably change it and then just wait for everyone to leave at some point. Like just go in, do the hacking of this thing, and make it relatively simple if we want. Maybe. I don't even think we have to go in and like clear them out if we don't want to, because we could just wait for them to leave and then they realize, oh, we can't get back in. Crap.
Yeah, it was up to you, just because, like, I know that you guys were trying to maybe put yourselves into a position where you weren't murdering people again. So
I
it's
still
like,
wanna do
maybe
that.
that's a thing, right?
I still want to do that. I just don't want to do it all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, like, I guess it's like a little bit of a gamble. I would basically do the John Harper thing and roll their traits to see
Right.
if they'd be down or not. But I think fictionally, you'd get the space, and then it would be something that they would probably want to either take on later on or not, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I don't think it would be like especially the people that are trying to keep themselves as like a hidden society or cell, a sect of these people, are not going to be like, okay, well, I guess we're going to go, raid them and out in public and try to take our space back. Instead, I think it would be something a lot more insidious than that, right? Like,
Sure.
The retaliation would be probably along the lines of, you having to hold the space later rather than it being a problem now. And of course, it would decrease your faction status too, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I apologize in advance because just outside my window, my partner is doing some light gardening and chased across the lawn by bees.
Oh
no.
It's delightful. She's not allergic or anything. She's just,
so you're just watching her get chased right now?
Well, that's why I ran out before. Because anyway, she's fine.
Good.
She told me that she was fine.
I'm glad.
Yeah, because I was like, wow, Erin is like J5, all insidious and shit. She's like running around, getting chased by bees, and you're in there being like,
I'm planning the takeover of the world here. She's just got some bees to deal with.
Yeah.
Priorities, right?
Yeah,
Priorities.
totally. Okay.
Bees are friendly anyway.
So then I'm imagining this being like either a deception or a stealth plan, like as far as like the actual plan type.
Well, so look at the details that you need to provide. Stealth is entry point. You already have that. So you could go in and, then the rest of the plan is doing like gassing them or whatever. If it's a deception plan, I think that's the thing where you're in the basement feeding up, like drilling into like the rooms and putting in hoses and stuff like that. And seems a lot more J5-y.
That sounds cool.
Are we doing the gassing thing? I'm getting confused about what we're doing then.
Yeah. So what is the plan? Is J5 willing to just reprogram the thing? And then just have people leave and then them not be able to get back in? And
it could be a combo, right? Because we could totally do like you did last time where you could be doing like the gassing and we could reprogram the thing gas them, and then kind of go in with our masks, and basically they're like hallucinating. We could just like shove them out the doors basically without even having to hurt anybody. They're like all high. We just shove them out into a pile, you know, in the back or something, whatever exit we can find. And then it's ours, plus maybe they get a little bit addicted to whatever we've got too.
A little bit addicted, or even sort of like a little bit more afraid, right? Like
Sure.
the other way is more like, oh dang, they got us, but this way they're like, oh shit, like they could have killed us.
I kind of like that a lot. Like I think we should do some like crazy J5 gassing and like messing with their stuff. I think that needs to be part of it. And then reprogramming the thing so they can't get back in after we've gassed them, and just kind of like, you know, kick them out the back door or whatever. However, whatever exit we want to shuttle them out.
And I can't remember, was part of the stakeout, I think that I said that you had one of those devices already, right?
Yes, we do have. Yeah, we got one of those.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so we can get in through their thing, and we can probably reverse engineer like ahead of time or in a flashback, basically like what their security system is like, so that when we get in to hack it, it should be hopefully a little easier. Maybe, I don't know.
This isn't FYI, do not rely upon me for anything, because if it is not resolved, I am really bad at it.
Oh, I'm sure you can find all sorts of creative ways to use that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Just if everyone was like, Vidi, why don't you ghost them? I'd be like, nope, not doing that.
It'll be a group effort, Vidi. Okay.
Okay.
I know. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Also, I did suggest that you could take one of the moves that automatically give you a point in something.
That's true.
Although you could totally just change it now if you wanted to.
Yeah, whatever we want to do. Or
That'd be fun.
okay, whatever works.
Okay, so I think it's a deception plan then to be.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Or do you think it's a point of attack? I could see both.
Yeah, because this could be an assault, but just kind of a not a killing assault kind of deal, right? Yeah,
like the point of attack is both you entering and like being kind of scary at the same time as J5 pumping in this gas, and you come in with your masks and your weapons, and you know, getting people to leave.
Yeah.
Is our tone here to scare them? Is our primary tone here to scare them, or is our primary tone here to take the turf and just sort of like let them know that we could have scared you if we wanted to scare you, but instead.
I think either way it's going to be scary, right? If there's gas coming up.
Yeah. And I feel like this is a VD decision. I feel like VD as the mastermind here would be like, we'd all be like turned to her. Like I can see like Lou, like what's Lou's character's name? Floor, like look at, is this a gun mission? And J5 is like, is this a tinkering mission? And everybody turns and looks at VD.
I think VD's like chewing on a cardamom pod. She's always like chewing on cardamom pods. I decided.
Nice.
And I think she looks at Flair and she says, "Oh, young one, we have given up those violent ways."
Behind your back, I kind of quirk one eyebrow a little bit. I don't say anything to contradict you, but I'm like, we'll see.
Of course, there are some circumstances which may call for violence, but if it comes to that, then we cannot be at fault, really. But I think it is best if we keep our goal in mind, which is to reclaim or to claim this turf. And if the mirrored gain a certain perspective on our operation, then that's fine.
Okay. So is the goal for them to not know who's doing this to them?
No, I think we want them to know. I just don't think we want them to think that we're murderous people.
Yeah, we go in, we gas them, you know, they're hallucinating. We could easily just like slit their throats right there and there, but instead we just kind of shove them out the back door and change the locks, basically.
It's like a public service that we're doing here.
Absolutely, yeah. Friendly neighborhood drug dealers.
Yeah.
That's no reasons why Floor is not on board for this mission. Like they just take off. or have to like watch or stay back because it's not a violent mission, right? As this,
Oh, Flair's on timeout.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
being-
did you put Fleur on
yeah.
timeout?
Yeah, she's totally on timeout after what she did last time. She needs to cool her jets.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. So, what type of plan do you think it is?
that strikes me as deception, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah,
So the method of deception is the gas, basically, right?
I think so. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And everybody is out of downtime actions, I think.
I think we did them all.
I think
Yeah.
so, yes.
The only time you would get more is if you're doing the thing that your hunting grounds is, which you chose as sales.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like you're making a sale, so.
No.
Well, no, I'm not gonna go there.
I mean, it's kind of a sales-based. It's like this is a multi-layered plan. This is a Bergen plan, right? I mean,
Definitely a Bergen plan, I'll say that.
no, I don't think that is our primary mission. Our primary mission here is turf, but our secondary mission is like sales. Like we're gonna get these people hooked on our shit.
All right, sounds good.
Ooh, we should when we kick them out the back door because they're hallucinating, we should put our like business cards like in their pockets or something like that. You want more, you know where to get it.
Yeah, so
Like
they
a temporary blue tattoo.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh man,
That's so
Oh,
dumb,
yeah,
and I love it so much.
Yep.
what did you guys call your drug again? I forget.
I think sunshine, wasn't it?
Sunshine?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so let's go to engagement then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this operation particularly bold or daring? I think so.
I think so.
Yes. Overly complex.
think
Gas
it's-
them and make them leave.
Yeah, it seems pretty simple. Gas, make them leave, change the locks, kind of deal, right?
Change the locks. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
They have no idea that anyone knows about this place yet. We found it. They feel very secure there, so they're probably not expecting something like this. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that fits.
Yeah, I don't know if it hits them where they're weakest, but I think they're
Yeah.
vulnerable at least to this plan.
Sure.
Not a lot of people can see gas coming right from the metro or whatever. So you're at 3 so far, right? What, Lauren?
I was gonna say if we keep doing this, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, there's
Those gassers.
those gases again. I wonder what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Gas us? Oh no."
We have to change our crew name to the gas bags or something like that.
Assholes.
You'll give the gas holes. Yes, I love that so much. I'm great for that.
I'm so into that.
Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses? No. Any friends or contacts help you?
Let's see. If so the plan is that we're going to try and sneak underneath, right, and kind of gas them from there, and then infiltrate up to get them out. So, I don't know. I think my spook friend could easily help us, like infiltrating, finding our way to the exact right spots. You know, like help us, determine ventilation shaft.
Can we
blueprints and stuff like that.
Can we embed Tiago in there? He's a flicker, isn't he? One of our contacts. So isn't he like invisible? Give him a dongle, get him in there. Like he can stake the stage.
He's a PI though. I'm not sure if he would be super into that plan from like a moral standpoint. He's more about like finding the truth, and you're like, want to just go sit in here, get gassed, and be invisible, and if people act up, maybe slap a bitch, right? I think he might not be into that. They're more like truth seekers and stuff. They do have invisible stuff, but
why are they our friends again then?
to find the truth, maybe. I don't know. Probably things have changed substantially since we first started this game. So maybe you chose poorly. No, just kidding. But I think the spook makes sense, right? They could get like the building plans and be like, okay,
Right.
we need to hook up to like we need to drill up into this part, and that will disseminate into everywhere or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I could also call on Sunby, a scavenger, to like try to get some extra parts or something that might help with the success of the gassing. Maybe better this time than last.
Well, either one. You can't do two.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Yeah, it just says, can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for the operation? Take +1D. So I don't think you can get like multiple Ds from it. Enemies and rivals, no, not yet. Any other elements? What tier are they? The mirrored. Or tier 2, you're 1.
Right?
So yeah, no, that's fine. Cool. So that's 3 dice. And go. Whoever wants to roll it.
This is J5's plan.
Is it?
Go for it, J5.
Is it? He's all excited.
Is this one of those instances where VD is like making you think it's like your plan, but VD's kind of like the one back there, like,
Yeah, totally. We'll see. If it goes well, definitely. If not, then no.
I like
Fair.
I like the image of Fleur like getting out her rifle and like starting to assemble, and VD's over in the corner being like, no, you're gonna be minding the shop today.
Yeah.
So how do I roll this?
So go to the crew sheet and there should be an engagement roll.
Oh, sorry.
Near the bottom. Yeah, roll engagement.
Engagement.
Middle down.
Number of dice?
3.
3. Oh, fuck.
So you end up in a desperate position. Interesting. Wonder how that could happen. Let's see.
Well, it's not because of my incompetence. It's because of VD's stupid plan.
Nice. Okay, well, I think there's an obvious thing that I've had in mind for a while, which is you start doing this, the gas starts going, and what ends up happening actually, though, is maybe you have like, so J5 is pumping it down in the basement or whatever, right? Everything seems to be going up fine. You two are at the entrance, about ready to like breach or whatever, and you keep waiting for the gas to go, and it just doesn't. And you can probably surmise that they have altered this room when they moved in, and probably moved some of the vents around or something like that. It probably wasn't to protect themselves from poisoning, but they probably built over whatever these things were in this room. They've probably like put stuff in the room that covers up the vents or whatever, right? Like they've remodeled. And so you're in a desperate position because these people aren't drugged, and there's a few of them in there.
What's plan B? Kill everyone?
I think this is one of those things where we would have like, this would go wrong, and then in the like movie version of this, there'd be like some kind of flashback to plan B, to like figure out another way to make the gassing work. And I think we got to like do something desperate to make the gas holes like take this over right now.
Yep.
I don't know. Any ideas for another way to approach gassing at the moment that's going to be even worse and scarier?
So,
go ahead, J5.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, like, wait, I mean, the gas is going somewhere. Like, where is it going to?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh no, right into the subway or something like that. Into like.
Where's it going to? Yeah. Just all the civilians.
If I have to play this mission high again.
You probably did you put a mask on beforehand this time though? Probably like out of like remembering last. Who knows? Okay. I certainly did. Silver did.
First, let's clear your load first, then.
Right.
So
Okay.
how loaded up are y'all?
Yeah. I think since we're going in from underground and then trying to go in, I think I wouldn't have worried about being too light. So I think I'd be at least like probably medium, the medium level.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. Normal load.
Same.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe one of my load will probably be some type of specialized tech, and that specialized tech has to be like a failsafe if this doesn't work, because this has not worked in the past. So maybe he doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't have the same full effect, but can we weaponize the drug, like in like an aerosol format, like
Right.
so that
Okay.
when we shoot, if we shoot, it's shooting like a concentrated dose, not like a dart, but like I
Is
don't
it
know.
like an aerosol spray can thing, except
Yeah.
it sprays out the drug?
Like almost like a close combat thing. Like if
Mm.
somebody gets close, you just sort of like
You look like you have bad breath. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, like basically specialized tech is really advanced technology that is plausibly stuff that has been created to combat acts of God. So it could be tons of different stuff.
got it.
Is that what I would have to tick to be able to like have some kind of like breathing apparatus that is going to keep me safe in there, or what else? I'm trying to look at what other.
Probably sabotage gear.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sabotage gear. Where's
What are obscures again?
Obscures are the things that cover your face. So when you're on a job, you know all the artwork on the Kickstarter that makes them look like they have cybernetic eyes? Those are actually just things that you put on your face so that people can't identify you.
Okay.
So where would they be coming out? Are they coming out at us? Like, we know that, do they know that okay, so it doesn't work, but does our team know that it hasn't worked?
Yeah, well, I think they're waiting for the go. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is what is desperate. You assume that it's happening, but it's not. That might be fun.
So we walk in, like we use the dongle to get in, and all of a sudden we realize there's just no gas here.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So
Okay.
you're wearing gas masks. You guys enter, like the hallway opens up, right? You're in the sliding doors. You've got like maybe, blades or weapons ready or whatever, and the masks, and there's no gas in the rooms.
Okay.
That's when I think BD turns it around on them, and she's like, there's shit going down out in the lobby. We got to get out there, guys. Get your gas masks on.
What do you mean? Like trying to evacuate them because things are happening?
Yeah, I mean, if you get in there and realize that the plan hasn't gone like you wanted to, and you've got a bunch of people staring at you, and you're like all weaponed up, and you've got gas masks on.
Well, you haven't used the weapons yet, so it's up to you. But I mean, yeah, if you're medium gear, they can tell that you're strapped, right?
Mhm.
And also, that is desperate. So if that's what you would like, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we could have if I could do a flashback back to like be working with Bergen. I'm like, but what if we're not able to like make the initial gassing work? We need a backup, so wondering if I could have worked with Bergen to J5 to get like a
grenade or something.
Yeah, like a little gas grenade with this stuff in it that we can like toss. We're in there. It's a lot more desperate because I have to be actually in the place to gas them at this point, and they're likely to see me before it fully takes effect. But I don't know if that makes sense, or
yeah,
does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan B. Like, yeah, plan A is try and gas them when we aren't there, and then plan B is like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Let's just gas them while we are in there, then I guess. Yeah.
Okay, slight amendment to this.
Sure.
So if we're going to plan B, then we're no longer trying to like get them hooked on our product. Is that a fair Is that a fair like assessment? Because you don't want to get them hooked on a product by like blowing up, like detonating a
Yeah, I mean, just like a smoke bomb kind of thing, not anything that's gonna like explode or do anything. Just gonna like get a hallucinogen into the air or something. Unless we want to approach it differently.
I was thinking that we could have an act of God in the can.
Do we want to be able to use this space ever again, though? we want the space, though.
I guess. Fine. Whatever.
I love it. But I think that's one of those things that like I come to you in this like in a flashback asking for like just some like just a freaking gas bomb with our drug in it, and you're like, but what if we do this? And I'm like, the entire point of this mission is to get the dang space, dude. We can't destroy it. And you're like, oh man.
Okay, but I do give you the act of God in a can as well.
Oh geez.
So you have two different canisters.
That's amazing.
Wisely.
What do we need to do to make this flashback work then? Like, yeah, how do we want to?
One is plausible, so we'll just do one for the plausibility of it. If you end up using the act of God, I think I'll charge you an additional 2 after that because that's pretty convoluted.
So I take 1 stress for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Stress as well?
I'll take a stress.
No.
So cool. Okay. So then, all right. So if we're busting in and I realize there's no gas going on, like, do I like when I walk in, do I see anybody specifically at the moment, or am I just walking in realizing there's no gas in the air? Oh crap.
Yeah, I think that the door parts, and yeah, it's a desperate position, right? So we'll say like down the hallway in the living space, there's one of them that already has like a mirror on. I think it's gold, I think, the mirror. And they like sort of stop and look right at you. And that's the moment where you'll act.
Oh geez. Okay. All right. Okay, I think this is just a moment where Silver's kind of, battle training just like takes right over. And I think it's just a momentary like viewing, okay, situation is not what I was expecting. Person looking at me, obviously still coherent and not drugged up. I think I kind of reach down to my little belt. I've got probably that little gas canister there. And I think I just start sprinting at this dude down the hallway, like just flat out, just running as fast as I can straight at them. No weapons drawn at the moment, but just trying to catch them by surprise. And I'm gonna get. Do I see like doors or anything like that like where other people might be? Do I have any idea what's going on?
Yeah, the whole hallway is lined with doors on either side, but none of them are opening at the moment.
Okay, then I can't toss. I don't know if I can toss the canister right now because I don't know if it's gonna get everywhere that people are.
Well, it's a smoke, right? It'll just take longer if a door is closed. It'll still go through, just like when the fire is happening.
Okay, so like as I'm halfway down the hallway, I'm gonna toss the smoke grenade like right at them. Try and make it land right at their feet and continue on. And try to either if they're not gassed, I'm gonna try and knock that person out before they can yell or do anything dangerous to us.
Okay, so it sounds like a solo action.
I think this one is right. I mean, I don't know if
BD is doing something.
If BD thinks she can do something to help out with this or not. Do you have any ideas?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you're a lot swifter and faster than BD.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you could just like distract them though. Like, is there anyone?
Yeah, distracting them. Knock on the doors to get them out of the hole.
You could follow along behind me slower and just start knocking on doors and doing something like that to bring whoever's in out so that the gas will get to them quicker.
Yeah, and you could even just be like having a complete ruse, right? Like just be knocking like fire department or something, and they'll see through it in like a few moments, but at the beginning at least they're still surprised by you, right? It's a desperate action going forward, but they're still surprised that somebody is coming in with a grenade and stuff, right? So yeah. So are you ghosting them, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think let me see. I think so. Yeah, I think it's just, or yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Does that work?
Yeah, like you're acting before they act and
Right.
surprising them, and yeah, it seems right.
Okay, so I'll do. So let's see. We're saying it's desperate,
Mm-hmm.
desperate, and effect.
Standard.
Oops, what just happened?
Hmm?
Oh, just sorry. I clicked something and it did a weird. The window for the roll went away. I'm just double checking my special ability to see if I have anything that can be super useful here. See, I'm going to. No, I'm just going to go for it. Let's see what happens on this desperate roll. Okay, so it is desperate, standard, and 1 bonus die from VD, and submitting. I got a 4 at least, but ouch.
Okay, so let's see.
This is going to be bad.
Yeah, and it's desperate too, so I have to kind of bring the thunder.
Yeah, you do.
Little bit of thunder, little bit of lightning. Okay, so consequences are you suffer severe harm, the serious complication occurs, you have reduced effect. So I think that is what would make the most sense. So yeah, I think like you do it, right? So the thing lands at the guy's feet, it disperses. You kind of see him with the gold mask, red robes, or not red, but like light orange, I think it would be. And he sort of like hunkers down into a firing position and swings up a weapon and shoots you because he's guarding the space. And that means that it would be, let's see. Yeah, it would be severe harm. So 3 harm.
Oh, I want to resist that, definitely.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, let's resist that. That sounds awful. Okay, so so that's going to be a prowess resist. Is that right?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, let's see how this. Oh, geez, I've got 5 stress already. This could get intense. How this goes? I've got. Yeah, I didn't. I only had 4. I had 4 going into last one. I don't think I did a. Is that right? I thought I did do try to reduce my stress last time, like indulged vice. I don't remember. Anyway, that's what's on my sheet right now. I guess I better just go with it because I don't remember exactly where I was at.
Yeah,
so
I don't see one scrolling up for you.
What's that?
I don't see a roll for you doing it. It looks like
I haven't done the resist yet. Is that what you're asking about, the resist?
Oh no, I just scrolled up from last session to see if you indulged your vice, and I didn't see it.
Okay. So I must not have then. All right. Okay. So I'm resisting, and yeah, I've got 3 dice in that. Okay, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I resist this, is it just going to knock it down to 2, or is it going to do something else? What's it going to
do? Yeah. What tone do you guys want? We haven't really had severe harm on the table before.
Right.
So do you guys want the tone to be a little bit swingy, where it's like resistance rolls dodge all of the harm and you're like pretty cool badasses, or a little bit more gritty where you're resisting each level of the harm?
I'm cool either way. You guys have thoughts on that? I'm totally cool going gritty. I don't mind having my character get hurt here. So do we want to do gritty or more like adventure-y?
I think gritty kind of makes sense for our tone, given our previous entanglement with constructed chaos that was pretty grim.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. I'm totally into that. So yeah, I'll resist. And I think what it'll be is like let me roll and see how my stress goes first. All right. So I got a 6. Nice. So I get no stress, which is awesome. I think it's I think I see him swinging the gun around, and I'm kind of like, just like running straight out, like, doing that old like arms behind me, almost like anime kind of thing. And I think I probably like even like step up onto the wall for a second to kind of try and like avoid the shot, and it takes me in the shoulder instead of like square in the chest or something. So yeah, so it's still taking level 2 harm here.
Yeah, and then are you going to use armor?
Yes, I will actually. That is a good point. So I'm going to use. Oh wow, I could go crazy with the armor here. I'm going to use armor. So
Okay.
that's 2 of my things there, and I could use my special armor if I want. Oh, wait. Ooh. Okay. So I have this move that lets me mess with my special armor. Expend your special armor to resist a consequence from detection or security measures, or push yourself for a feat of athletics or stealth. That would apply here, I would think, right? Since yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm going to expend my special armor. Does special armor doing that also just bring it down 1 tier? Is that the way it works? Or is it?
What are you again? What playbook?
I am the fuse, and I have the I have that move, or the special ability silhouette.
Oh, so I think that you would expend it, and we kind of retcon to you guys breaching and the guy maybe not even seeing you, right? Because it would
If we want to
be
go that far back. Yeah.
well, it would be resist a consequence from detection or security measures.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
we
push
could,
yourself for a feat of athletics. So I could do something even more athletic to kind of avoid more of the harm, I guess, if we want to not rewind that far back.
yeah, we could always. Well, why don't we just say that you dodged the bullet with that then, and not have it to consume your thing? Because we could definitely label the gunshot as a security measure. So
Okay.
and it just says you avoid it. So
Okay, so yeah, I've resisted already, no stress, and I use my I'm gonna use my special armor to resist. So yeah, it's me kind of like going up like onto the wall. He's like sweeping, gun up at me, but like I'm kind of get a few feet up on the wall for a couple of steps and then come back down, and I'm heading right at him to knock him out.
I like how it's like a doggy paddle. I get up there like a doggy paddle.
Look at that.
Cool. And then sweet. Okay, so VD, did you want to do something?
Yeah. Well, I'm just eyeing up my item list, and it says a sleeper round. So
Yeah.
my gut is telling me to just pop a sleeper round, or at least try to put a sleeper round into this guy.
Sure, do it. So
Cool.
mark the sleep around, which doesn't cost load. And are you doing it with a disposable pistol or?
Yeah. That's Beanie would carry a disposable pistol. She doesn't want any of this traced back to her. She has a reputation to protect.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so mark the disposable pistol. You're still in a desperate position, I think. And what do you think you're doing for your action?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I think I'm aiding, right? Like just kind of by doing my thing and like kind of taking a lot of the attention. So I think I can aid and give you a die for a stress.
Sure.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
If you're taking a shot, it might be tracing.
Yeah. Where is?
Or it could be. I could even see like a ghost because Silver is sort of like running at the guy, and it's like it could be like a coordinated plan, right, to take him out.
Oh yes, either trace or ghost.
Yeah, it could be like combat. It could be a ghost. It could be trace is usually what shooting is, but it seems like you're working in tandem with Silver. So
yeah. So ghosting would be more if it was like a joint effort from.
I think so.
Silver?
Yeah. Usually
Yeah,
ghosting is like the working in tandem, acting fast, backstabby stuff. So it could be Silver's setting you up kind of to do this thing.
I like that fiction, like silver skirted or guns blazing, and then Vidi's there on the side with the sly.
And then you can
Just
mark XP and prowess for rolling a desperate standard.
Oh yeah.
awesome. Shoot. It's skirmish, right? For thing. I'm gonna push myself for sure.
Yeah. That's weird.
And it's the standard effect?
Yeah.
Cool.
Boom.
Oh, my heart was pounding.
So you hit him with a sleep around, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I think he like takes the shot. Silver whips out of the way, running up along the wall, Matrix style. The bullet just like whizzes past VD's head in slow motion because it's all bullet time, right? And then VD, like you crouch down and take a shot. And where do you hit him? Like in the neck or something like that? Because he's wearing a mask.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. So what does it look like, this thing?
Yeah.
The worst thing, the
Sleep around. What does it look like?
oh,
Is it like a flechette or something?
yeah, totally. I don't know what that is, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, they're like little needle-looking things, basically.
Yeah, that's totally what I had in mind. Like,
Yeah. Nice.
something needly and druggy and that can inject people with sleeping
So-
stuff.
So you
Awesome.
haven't killed
Okay.
anybody yet, and have you been knocking on? You did to help. You knocked on some of the
Yeah.
doors. The
So
gas.
come out.
Yeah.
So like it's like I'm imagining this scene of like I'm running, they whip out the gun, I go up, and like kind of dodge the thing, and you take the shot, which I like is out of the way of me. It like takes him in the neck with a dart, and then that's right when I get to the dude, and so I like catch him as he's falling to like
Yes.
make it like soften the sound of it. And now we've got the gas dispersing, and we just have to like get it, get doors open and get it to the other people in the area.
And then we'll cut to the basement, and J5. Maybe you look up as you hear the gunshot, right?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you want to do?
I think I'm going to try to remotely like hack into the or sabotage, not hack, but like try to find the mechanism that's going to open all the doors, right? I'm guessing that they're not like
Oh, okay.
physical doors, but like mechanical doors, sliding doors of some sort.
Sure, that sounds cool. Let's say that's true. Sure.
I want the doors open, and I kind of want. Is there a way that I can use like the frequency of the dongle to like keep the door open so that, again, just I'm trying to like facilitate the flow of people out, right? Like I'm trying to help them to shepherd these people out of this space.
Well, we could even just have like a flashback to Silver taking off the dongle and then just like putting it on up top as they enter, so it always is open or something.
Yeah, perfect.
And then we could cut to you maybe being in the mechanical room then, right? Like hooking into the building's security, trying to do your stuff, right? Cool. So you hacking?
Tinkering?
Yeah, that is the thing. Or so modifying, right?
Modify, sorry, yes.
Yeah. Like the like trepidatious smile after tinkering.
I'm just not so good at the hack.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, so here's the thing. If you're modifying, then it's like a physical thing, right? Like you're taking out the chipboard and putting in a new one or something like that. Hacking is like you're using the system in place to do something that you want usually.
So I'm trying to draw on. So one of my special abilities is Saboteur. When you wreck, the work is much quieter than it should be, and the damage is hidden from casual inspection. So here I'm just trying to.
Oh, so you're like fucking it up basically to do what you want, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the part where you like break the chipboard and it works the one time.
Because we don't need these doors anyway, because we're just going to install beaded curtains. So
of course you are. Yeah. It is the mark of your crew. Cool. Okay. So yeah, do it up then. That's pretty funny.
What is my position?
Well, especially with that move, yeah, I think that it's controlled and standard.
And I am going to push myself.
Okay. All made in Taiwan.
Well, I got my 6, so the world can fuck itself.
Nice. So tell me what it looks like. Yeah.
I think it's more it's more finessed than just a smashing of a panel. This is his specialty. So so sorry, just saw the yeah. So yeah, I think it's like there's some soldering, there's like some fast-paced like cut sequence soldering, like to reroute a thing, and then just all the doors just sort of slide open simultaneously. Maybe little sparks flying out, sort of like, but it like shines blue because it's reacting against the gas that's sort of filtering through. So like each time a spark hits the glass, it has this sort of like this iridescent like flare coming out of it. Yeah.
Cool. I love that when you're like, I don't think I'm just beating on a panel. That's good stuff right there. This is a quality show we put on. Okay, so I'm gonna start a clock. Oops. Instead of that, I just went to a whole new web page and I had to reload Roll20. Okay. I'm gonna do a 6 clock. I just have to make the thing real quick. No. This isn't working out. I left and came back again. I'm back. Okay. So I'm just going to make a 6-sided clock, and we'll say you got a 6, right? So you're 3 into a 6 clock, which will be getting rid of these people.
Cool. And then I'm just jetting upstairs.
Okay, just to like help them or whatever.
Oh, yes.
Cool. So yeah, we'll cut back. We see you like do your soldering action. You bust out, and then what do we see when we cut back to you guys? They're like, whatchamacallit? You see all of the doors slide open, and maybe you even hear on comms, right? Maybe J5 is like, got it, or something like that. And I think, yeah, you see like 4 or 5 people sort of like stumbling out. 3 of them have their masks and clothes on. 1 person is still in their like street clothes. And I think they're wearing like a, whatchamacallit, the equivalent of like a broken social scene jacket or whatever, right? Like a dissident jacket. And yeah, so what do you guys do to try to get them to, is now the point is just like, are you trying to do this ruse of like time to evacuate, all this shit's going on or whatever, or what's the idea?
I could see that. I could see VD taking over and just like being like, look, someone's already been, the gas is already getting to this person that's, laying it down, of course, with like, can't see the little thing in their neck. But yeah, I could see that being the case. We're just kind of like trying to get them out of there or delay long enough to let them get enough of the gas where they'll be easily manageable. So VD, if you have any ideas like on how to go from here, I think this is in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I'm trying not to make this super farcical because I I'm just looking at also like a fine cover identity and being like, I'm here from the gas people. There's been a leak kind of thing. But that wouldn't make sense because this is like a secret area.
If I remember correctly, the mirrored are anti-corporate, like information broker.
Yeah.
People. Like, can we maybe maybe there's something that we're trying to like show them some kind of information that's being spread that we don't like, that they would be enticed by, or something to that effect. Like, hey, pay attention to this speech that I'm about to give about those damn corporations up there in their towers.
Oh yeah.
While they're being gassed.
Yes.
Yeah. Try and pin it on the corpse. Like, this is them trying to like literally smoke us out kind of thing.
Is this just, are you guys just trying to get desperate rolls, or?
No, I just have bad ideas.
Okay, so the plan is to convince them of other people doing this and you're helping them, or?
No. Oh shit. How about we claim to be from a corporation, right? Like, this is what happens when you mess with the porters or whoever.
That'll make them shoot at us, possibly. I'm worried about that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You like your limbs or something. I don't know what your deal is, but
I'm in the room with the people with the guns right now.
That's fair.
I don't know. Because like, do we want? I guess it depends on what our goal is here. Do we want to like really engage these people in like an actual fight, or are we trying to either do one of two things of like shuttle them out because they think they're being gassed, or stall them and confuse them until they are like altered enough that we could just like shepherd them out really easy. Because we could scare them out, be like, the place is, it's an attack. We got to get got to evacuate everybody out and try and get them out that way and just like bar the door behind them. Or somehow stall them right now and get them to get high on our drug and out of it. I don't know if we want to anger them right now with like, I don't know. What do you, I mean, I could see that working. If you have an idea of how to make that work without like, Vidi and me getting like, ganged up by these four, that'd be cool. I'd be way into that. Like blaming someone else would be interesting.
I'll be honest, I wasn't good at that.
Okay.
It's so good. It's so good. I'd be way into that to not get shot. Right now, I'm picturing like the doors open. Maybe I'll even give you for free from the other 6 of the thing that you kick the grenade into the center of the thing as the doors are opening, right? So they're walking right into the grenade dispersion thing. That's still smoking, I imagine, right? Like SWAT style, whatever that stuff is. And so, yeah.
So we don't. Sorry, so we don't actually need to, if they're already starting to get gassed, we don't actually need to be aggressive, right? We just need to be cool. Like, the point of the drug is that they feel like they're in open spaces. So I think it's just, I think it's just like a chill moment, a chillax moment.
Do we have a way to determine how soon they'll be like affected enough by the drug that we can deal with them? Or?
How about we do this? How about we roll on behalf of the drug?
Cool.
And that'll be Aaron rolling J5's modified, probably.
Sweet.
I went to like another flashback to Plan C where J5's like, but wait, what if it goes really, really, really wrong? You want this to be concentrated and take effect quickly.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, we planned for this.
I mean, that would make sense in the context of like having a grenade version of this. Like, this is no longer the drug in its recreational form. This is a weaponized version of the drug, right?
Well, how about I like the picture of this then. How about as you're running towards them, Silver kicks it in front of the hallway, right? And then you, like Silver or Vidi is like now, and you like push a button, and then it like actually explodes and like disperses like onto them or something like that. Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I dig that.
So, and then we'll call that a group action. Maybe?
Yeah.
Right? Because everyone's being like, I imagine at the Ocean's 11, like, oh, actually, this is what we totally planned for. So maybe someone take the 1 point of stress to do the stress flashback. And then, yeah, what group action is this? Then?
Whoa.
Or is it a group action? Maybe it's just
prep for the prep for the bomb itself. Or the
could
grenade.
be. Ooh, I know. Okay, so how about this? Silver, you are doing a setup action.
Yeah.
For J5, doing the modify, and VD could be helping with it.
Sweet. Okay. So then, yeah. So my setup action would be either like, so my setup action is to kick it back into the right place and get the and then hit the button. Is that it, or what are we looking at?
I think you're going to be kicking it, and
Yeah.
VD is going to be maybe causing more confusion, right? Like
Okay.
you're using a fake identity to do something, maybe VD. Maybe you're saying like fire marshal, get the F out of here or something like that, right? Or are you pretending to be a mirrored or something? Or
I was thinking, if possible, it'd be cool to pretend to be a mirrored.
Sure.
Other than yeah.
I think that would be plausible. You have a fine cover identity, right?
And I can take it for 2 to have it be like an extra outfit, right? Or to
what?
I can I was reading last night. It's like I could take off 2 load for it to be like different items or a separate kit that I've.
Yeah. You can do tick off 2 load, and then you have that as a change of clothes, right? Like you have two different disguises or whatever on you.
Be like, whoosh, and like whip off whatever I'm wearing. Just kidding. I'm totally married, or I was.
Yeah. So Silver kicks it out in front, and then you step in front of Silver and be like, evacuation, and then Silver does the like, okay, now J5 is like, boom, and then it like kind of aerosols right in front of them or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Does that sound good to everybody?
That's very fun. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
cool.
amazing.
Okay, so Jesse, you're gonna roll your setup action then, and what do you think that is?
I could see that being either finesse or ghost, depending on, since it's kind of like just trying to do something quick beforehand, or it could be just the like dexterity, you know, how well I can kick it into the right spot. I could see it going either way on that one. I'd rather roll ghost if possible, but
yeah, sure.
Let's
see. Ghost is physical stuff. I don't think it's particularly like. I think finesse would be like, I'm going to kick it directly at the third guy in the middle or something. Whereas ghost is just like, I want it to be around them when it explodes, right? So that's fine.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, go ahead and then VD take 1 stress to help out with your disguise action.
All right, and this is risky or desperate, or what are we at?
I think it's risky just because they might not believe this, right?
Okay. All right, so
yeah.
And I'm getting 1 bonus die from VD, and
VD's,
do I want to push myself?
VD's disguise is fine, so maybe do great effect.
Ooh, okay. All right. So it won't show up on the screen, but we'll just assume it's great effect. All right, cool. So going for that, submitting. I got a 6.
Boom.
Great effect on a 6.
So you kick it exactly where you meant to. It's like dead center in them, and then you do the now thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as a setup action, you can either get +1 effect or improve position. What would you like?
I think does effect sound good? Like, does that just like make it even more potent and like take these guys all out with this? Hopefully, if we can with this, as much as we can get with this grenade.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
I think that would be awesome.
Cool. Okay, so yours is going to be risky.
Okay.
And great effect.
Okay.
And are you pushing yourself or doing other things?
I will. I'll push myself. Before I forget.
Can I give is this something I can aid with, even though I did a setup or not?
No, I don't think so. I think the setup would encompass that.
Sure. Okay.
Boom. 6. Wow. Okay. So this rapidly became a okay situation. Maybe I should not suggest to you guys what you should do. Okay. Yeah. So they come out, and I'm guessing. So what is it about this J5 that when it disperses circumvents their mirrors and everything, right? Like how does it get to them right away?
I think maybe it takes on. Okay, so we harvest this from the act of God, right? So maybe it takes on some of the qualities of the act of God, right? Like it becomes more a finer powder, or it becomes. I was suggesting in the chat, like it becomes a liquid of some sort that something like something that like a WD-40 or something, like just seeps into all of the places, right? And so mirrors that the act of God as this sort of insidious, like all-encompassing force.
Okay, so it's like rain. Even just because they're wearing their robes doesn't really matter. They still get wet, and then it touches their skin, and then they're just fucked, right? Cool. So I filled in the clock all the way. They're high as kites now. Which, yeah, I think we just need one more action to get them out of here. And I think you're in a controlled position because of this accomplishment. And yeah, great effect to get them out. But how is it that you usher them out? Is this VD? They're all high, you're mirrored, and you're like protecting them, right?
Yeah, totally. This is so grim. Yeah, I guess.
Is it?
No, yeah, I think it's grim anyway. Yeah, I guess Pied Pipering them out of this place. I mean, we don't need to do it super chaotically or desperately now, so it's a quiet, slow procession out of this place.
Yeah, and so, well, what action do you think this is? And then, depending on if you succeed, I wonder where you take them. Or you're just like they're out on the street and then you just disappear or something. Kaiser Soze them.
I feel like that's probably what BD would do, but I'll see what actually happens after I roll, I suppose.
So how do you? Yeah, what action do you think it is to usher them out?
I feel like it's probably commander's control, right?
Yeah, it's like the manipulating thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a controlling action.
Sure. Yeah. Roll it up. I think it's controlled great. They're all
Cool.
pretty docile here.
I could help by like carrying the one that you knocked out with the shot to the neck.
Oh yeah.
Up,
That's good. Yeah.
please.
Yeah, I'll just like sling that person over my shoulder and yeah.
That's actually perfect because J5 wants to get a sample from them because we've never weaponized this thing before. So like playing into this obsession, like he's just like scraping off just a thin layer of whatever and putting it into a bottle.
A layer of whatever? You mean a layer of arm juice?
I was trying to be crazy.
Oh my gosh, this arm juice thing won't die. Okay. Let's see. Controlled position leads to reduce effect, lesser harm, risky position. Oh yeah, I know what happens. So you get them all out, and then Silver carrying the person. There's like a couple street people, or not. I mean, there's people on the street, not street people. So there's people like that just happen to be driving by, like in a spinner or something. We get some cool CGI effects or whatever, right? Where they like float up, and then they like turn around and like at first they like stop as if they've just seen something. They come back and they're like, do you people need help? And then they look at Silver, who's not looking like the mirrored, slinging this person over their shoulder, and they're like, maybe we better call the Sentinels over. And they're like these 15-year-old kids, I think. It's like their first spitter.
Probably their moms.
Yeah. So do you want to try to convince them not, or are you going to resist the consequences, or...
Who would have to
Especially-
resist this if we did? Would it be VD, or would it be who would have to do the resistance?
Well, yeah, let's see. Well, it's VD's role, yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, VD would resist those consequences. And I think part of the suspicion is, I think if it was just the mirrored coming out, they'd be like, oh, yeah, whatever. But because there's somebody dressed up basically tactically with somebody hung up on their shoulder, and then also somebody taking samples from them, apparently.
I did that while we were still inside.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, because I need to program the dongles.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah, either way, I think just that is
It's
enough
not a
to
euphemism.
pique the... Yeah. I think that's enough to pique these kids' interests and, like, maybe, you know, hit the gas or something. Like, maybe they're like, nobody has cell phones or whatever, right? But they might just, you kind of see the kid look at you suspiciously and maybe like might try to, you know, hit the gas out of there.
No, I'll resist that. I have friends amongst the Sentinels, and I don't want any conflicting reports of what our movements are like.
Okay, so how do you, well, resist it and then tell me what happens instead? Maybe, well, yeah. Do you just, I could see it either way. If you have like an interesting fiction of how to get rid of the kids, then we can do that. Or you could just tell me how it is they don't see you or whatever, right? Like maybe Silver spots them first, or you tell Silver to stop when a car's passing, and those same group of teenagers just keep passing or something like that, right?
Yeah, if I can do that, I like the if it's possible to retcon it a bit, yeah, I like the visual of VD leading them out and then spotting the car and then like motioning for Silva to like step into the shadows kind of thing until they're gone.
Yeah, cool. And then yeah, so instead we get the retcon. They pass and they're probably like two really annoying looking pimply kids listening to like hip hop or some shit, right? And they like they like don't even stop at the like floating stoplight and just go right through it and shit. And cool. So roll resist, and that would be, you did a command roll, right? So you'd be resisting with resolve.
Cool. Is that good or bad?
So you take 3 stress.
Oh shit. Do I trauma out once I fill all of them?
Yeah, once you hit 9. Yeah.
Yeah, then I've traumatized out.
Interesting. So maybe so you're the one that says how you get removed from the obstacle. So you're pretty much done though. So what do you think it is that takes you out right now?
Oh man. That is
I could think of something.
What's your suggestion?
Well, you're already hooked on this drug, and maybe when you're moving them, you accidentally get some on your palm or whatever, right? And just like them, you get all high and you like collapse, right?
I love it. That sounds perfect.
Into the pile of the beer.
Yeah.
And then Silver's like,
yeah. I set the one on my shoulder onto the pile, and then I pick up VD and put VD on my shoulder. So I swap one for the other.
I love that so much. That's totally what happens.
Okay, and then so do you guys just leave these mirrored people out of the corner and disappear, or what's the plan? Do you have something pre-orchestrated to take care of them or whatever? Did you already like call the sentinels for a tip and being like, those mirrored, they're gonna be at the corner of 5th and 3rd?
I like that idea
Yeah.
of having them picked up. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Can I like tap on, like, could I have tapped on Hayden's shoulder to like give a tip that there's gonna be some high as fuck mirrored just wandering around the streets at this time?
Sure.
So then do we go back in, or do we, like, in order to go in, because Bergen's still in there, right? Or J5 is like, you know, hacking this thing to change the dongle, right? So that it'll work for us. Do we like go back inside? And then of course, I mean, it's like a totally, if I recall, it's like you can't tell how to get in without knowing, right? So like
Exactly.
if we go back in, we're not at risk anymore, and they're just out there like waiting.
Exactly.
We make the call to have the sentinels come pick them up, and yeah.
Yeah.
I like that we go back in and we're like just clearing the gas and letting VD come down from from her high here.
Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah. So sentinels come, and we'll just say that that was like pre-orchestrated. I think that doesn't need any stress. It's totally plausible that you just be like, hey, at 5 o'clock, be at the corner of this and this, because there's going to be some mirrored, right? I will say, if you do that though, you'll probably take a -2 faction with them instead of just 1 taking their stuff, though, because they're, unless, well,
that'll put us at war with them, because that'll take us to -3. I don't know if we want to.
Actually, the thing is though, is that if you keep it this quiet, maybe they never even know that it's you, right? Like they might learn that later for sure, because they'll be like trying to figure out who did it. But right now, as things sit, I don't see how they would figure it out, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't think we did anything super identifiable at the moment. Like this is a slightly different version of our drug. It's a little more intense, like you say, not the recreational version. This is the weaponized form.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, that's fine. Maybe we'll just say that because of heat, there's no decrease in faction status. Okay. But I will actually, I'll take this 6 o'clock and unfill it, and I'm going to start my own long-term project, which will be written here, the mirrored out. And yeah, so I think I'll probably use that in the future to, so they're going to be actively looking for whoever did this, right? And that'll just fill up later. You know, I might do some ripples later, offer some ripples as it goes up to see what happens. But yeah, let's do the mission stuff. And yeah, I think that it would be no heat, just because like nothing happened really, right? Like you didn't kill the person and stuff, so
Yep,
you'll take 1 heat if I recall, because they're higher tier perhaps. But let's see. Payoff. Okay, so let's do rep. So 2 rep per score by default. If the target is higher, then you get 3. Yes, but the amendment to that is that if you keep the operation completely quiet so no one knows about it, you earn 0 rep. Mark the rep on the rep tracker on the crew sheet.
Okay, so no rep then, or what?
I think so, right? Like, unless you make it known that you did this thing.
I think we'd want to keep our vice den pretty secret, wouldn't we? We wouldn't want to like have it like super, you know, this whole deal super associated with us. I'm cool with going with no rep this time around, you know, if we're up for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
I think that fits the narrative.
Yeah.
And jewels. I think that they have like the equivalent of a strong box. So take 4 jewels. They would have had a little bit of stored money. I think this is basically like it's a staging area for a cell of the mirrored, right? So they have like a little bit of jewels going on. And heat, smooth and quiet, low exposure, I think, right?
I think so.
There was 1 gunshot in a place that should probably, just the way that I've described it anyway, be maybe if you were in the subway tunnels below, you would hear it, but otherwise it's a space between walls. So
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would hear about it.
Sweet.
High profile, nope. They specifically don't want that. Hostile turf. It did happen on hostile turf.
Mhm.
And you're not at war with them, and you didn't kill them. So 1 heat. Not
Cool.
bad.
Well, yeah, just up to a total of 4 heat, so we're pretty good there.
Yeah, and then you can mark that you had that claim now.
Right. Yeah, got that. And when does so we got the Vice Den? Does the bonus for it wouldn't apply to this score, right? Only stuff in the future.
Yeah. I think it
Okay.
would be well.
Ooh, because it says it applies in downtime, which will be coming up. Would it apply like in this following downtime, or?
Sure. Yeah, I think downtime is it's like a abstraction. Like a downtime can take weeks at a time between scores, right? In the fiction.
Sure.
It's just what we focus on. So
Mhm.
cool. So how much heat do you have total?
Total
4?
of four right now. Yeah.
Do you want to roll
Let's see. Is
your
that the?
entanglements?
Yeah. How
So
do we
you
do that?
let's see. So your heat level is 4 or 5, and you just roll a fortune die. Let's see what happens.
All right. Who wants to roll that? Somebody else wants to. Feel free.
Go ahead.
Okay. So that's just 1d
Nobody wants to-
1d6. Is it that?
Yeah, just 1d6. Yeah, a fortune roll. Yeah, a 1. Ooh. Gang trouble or questioning. What is gang trouble? Oh yeah, I like questioning a lot more. Cool. Okay, well, why don't we take the 5-minute break now and then come back? So let's come back at 51.
Sounds
good?
good.
Cool.
going to work after this, Lauren?
Yep. Although I won't be doing work, I'll be finishing off the quick start. It's very almost done. It's all proofed from top to bottom. I just need to go back and like reread the top paragraphs to make sure that they make sense after I fiddle with them.
Nice. Sounds good. Cool.
It's good though.
Yeah.
He's very well.
Yeah, it should be fun to see people playing their own games and then expanding it. I'm excited to come up with my own whatchamacallit, heat stuff. Like these entanglements for stuff inside Shelter 1, outside Shelter 1.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think it would be cool. Random entanglement. An act of God gets you. No big deal. Shouldn't have got that much heat.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's gonna happen to Vidi now that she's
Hi.
yeah. I think
Why?
I have an idea.
It's
gonna get really
What?
sorry, what you said?
Well, yeah, I mean, so far VD's habit is just a unfilled clock, right? Because I was saying for every downtime you don't indulge in sunshine, it'll fill up, right? And then every time you decrease it, it'll get worse and worse, right? Like you'll need it more and more. Because it's like an addiction.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna shift the tone a lot for me. It's all the drug addiction.
Yeah. So wait. Okay. So I'm gonna go with questioning. Oh. So
Thanks.
what? Tone shift is cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, what are you doing? What?
Oh no, it's just I feel like I'm gonna go for like the obsessed thingy watch. What do you call whatever you call it?
Trauma.
Oh, the trauma.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's totally cool.
So it's like I go for. I mean, it makes sense, like to having gotten accidentally high off of this drug more to be obsessed with it.
Yeah, especially the weaponized version of it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Beatty's going for the hard stuff, not even just like our normal thing. That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It's like I'm not sure if like rampant drug addiction is what we want to see in this game, but
We are drug dealers. I don't know.
yeah, drug dealers. Yeah.
You did choose the Wired crew, so
Then for drugs and more.
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I think you guys like lay low a little bit in this space, right? And make sure that it's yours. Maybe we see like a couple of the nameless gang members or whatever starting to rip up the ground and turn the place into like something else that isn't like this weird culty place. And when you get back though, like we'll cut to a few hours later or something like that back at the Blue Oolong. I think Fleur is out and one of the new people is like minding the store, and what you call it? They like sort of nod at you to like go to the workshop out back, right? Like past the beads, the famous beads. And Remy is like sitting in a chair and he's kind of like all looking like he got beat up a little bit and tossed, right? And he goes up to you and he kind of is limping a little bit and he's like, I didn't tell them nothing, I swear. But yeah, he says like the Sentinels picked him up. He was like doing his corner board shit again. Because remember, he was the same one that was with Fleur when Fleur was an NPC, and they got rolled one time on.
Remy got shot, right? So Remy's man, he's having a hard time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why they picked him up. They knew that he was like he had been shot, and so he might roll on y'all a little bit. So I got a 5, but so you guys take +1 heat, which means he like only divulges like a little bit. So maybe what he told them. What would he have told them that would get just +1 heat, you think? Maybe maybe what the Sentinels already know is that like some of you guys were spotted at like the fancy dinner or whatever, right? Maybe that's why they rolled Remy. Was they were like, what are you doing at this fancy district in this fancy place? You don't belong there. You're straight trash and all that kind of stuff, right? And Remy was like, number 1, fuck you, right? Number 2, we were invited. And then he actually shows them like the invitation. I think he like goes and gets it, and they're like, and so eventually I think they just do the like 48-hour, or not 48-hour hold, but like they hold him for a little bit and then released him. And they did the dick move where they didn't drop him off at the Oolong. They dropped him off at like one of the furthest places. So he would have had to take like a shuttle and then like walk back to the blue Oolong. And he's like a little bit roughed up and stuff like that, right? And of course, this is all done behind the district captain's back, right? Because he likes y'all and he wouldn't be down for that. But, you know, cops do what cops do. Those Sentinels, they're dicks. But yeah, so you take +1 heat as the repercussion, or you can pay the Sentinels 2 jewels.
I can just talk to Hane.
Wow, being so casual about it now, like, whatever.
I got friends and oh shit, sorry. Mosquitoes.
Yeah, you're like snatching up here. Cool. So yeah, what's your reaction to Remy getting rolled and stuff?
Well, I think Beatty's quietly pissed off because she likes her people, even if her people were once other people's people.
Yeah, fair.
I think Silver's reaction is just kind of like, you know, appraisingly eyeing Remy and just trying to figure out, you know, because I don't know if Silver really like just trying to figure out, okay, how much did you really tell, you know, but not actually coming out and asking it, just trying to like just still not very sure of Remy, I guess.
He's like, I only gave them a bite after you, especially after Silver is like, what did you actually tell them, right? Because he's like, I didn't tell them nothing. And then Silver gives like a stern look, and he's like, I showed them the, just to get them to stop hitting me, you know. I showed them the invite, and then they let me go.
Cool. I think at that point, Silver, has just been kind of like eyeing him and finally getting the real story out of, what he told him. I'm like, probably even like goes up to him. It's like, good job, you did well, and just kind of walks off at that point. I don't know if Remy's actually expecting anything like that from Silver, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's beaming a little bit.
Yeah.
Do we know?
I just can't. Is there like some kind of plan hatching in J5's head or something? We're like, okay, so we're gonna gas the station.
Well, okay. So do we? Because if I'm understanding correctly, Remy did give them something, right?
Yeah, just what they already knew. They confirmed that you did meet with Yedrick. Basically, is what they'll find out, right?
So I think, all right, maybe not. I was thinking that my trauma, like I was going back and forth between paranoia and obsession. And so I guess I sort of settled on obsession, but I think if I were paranoid at this point, I would put like a tracking device of some sort on Remy, but I don't know.
Okay.
Like a dog?
Like, yeah.
Chip him, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But I'm not going to do that. But I want you to know that I could have.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could probably just track his nanites, right? You could probably like tap into the frequency that his nanites are putting off to be able to track him in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted, if you wanted, yeah.
I'm a good little soldier.
Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. So I added that heat. So we're up to 5 heat right now.
I know who to talk to.
Nice.
You what?
I said, I'll take care of it because I know who to talk to.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay, so downtime? Cool. Does anyone have an idea? Beatty?
Yeah, I totally want to invite, invite Hayne round for a tea and some games again. Just we haven't talked for some time. It's good to catch up with people and check in how they're doing.
Is this the first time that he's been there since you teared up? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. So how's the place changed? Like how can he tell and the audience tell that like this place is, you know, a little bit nicer or whatever?
Yeah. What have we done to decorate? Fancier beaded curtains.
Fancier curtains. He sees the curtains. He's like, oh, clearly these people have stepped up.
Maybe we have like a pinball machine.
We're only tier 1, so yeah, probably something just a little bit nicer than what we had, right?
Yeah.
Like a pastry counter now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's also double, right? It's 1 tier, but it's double what you had before.
That's true.
A pinball machine and a pastry counter.
No.
Yeah.
I'm imagining like our decorations being like a little more cohesive too. Like in addition to little stuff, I think we've got a little more like maybe like blue and white theming, you know, for blue oolong, you know, like blue panels on the wall, you know, in certain spots and you know, some other stuff going on there. Yeah. I think our brand is kind of coming together, I think.
And I feel like we've probably splurged on like a real plant as opposed to like all of the fake shitty plants we've had in there so far.
Yeah. What are those blue flowers that you said that are all over the place or that are elsewhere in the city? What were
Saffron?
They? Yeah. What if we've got like we're cultivating those like in different parts in within the shop and stuff?
Like a greenhouse.
Yeah.
Like that.
Cool.
Awesome.
It could be pollinated by the artificial bees.
So do you put like a saffron stem or something in his tea?
Yeah, totally. That's our thing.
Cool.
Love it.
And so this is your getting rid of heat?
Yes, please.
Cool. So what is it you say to him? Let's RP it out a little bit.
Yeah, so I think she invites him to sit and pours him a cup of tea across their game table. And she says, this is a new blend I've been trying out. I hope you enjoy it. I, funnily enough, happened to be speaking to, what's the guy's name we talked to again? Not Frederick?
For which?
Who did we talk to at the party? Yedrick?
Oh, Yedrick.
Yeah. So she says, finally, I just happened to be talking to Yedrick about this very tea blend. We happened to bump into each other at I don't know if you know he was having a party, but you know, he deals in water and I deal in tea, and I thought perhaps there would be a happy union between the two of us. I foresee this place having a great future as a tea shop serving the finest and procured the finest waters along with the finest tea blends. What do you think?
I think he takes a sip and he's like delightful. Oh, I found a picture for him for sure too. He looks like, I like this. So he's got like crazy wispy white hair. He looks like did you ever see that Instagram account with like the old guy who's like really good looking in Toronto. There was like a big news story about him, how he was like the most attractive, like 60-year-old Santa Claus guy or whatever. He looks like that. So he's definitely like wearing his white privilege on his sleeve, I think. Like he's in a place of power, district commander, right? But yeah, he's got like his beard isn't quite like Santa. It's like quite trimmed. He's got like a really trimmed body, but he looks like amazing for being like 60 or 65 or whatever. And yeah, he takes like a sip and he sort of like breathes it in. And I imagine he like takes in the tea like somebody who's like evaluating a wine, like one of those sommeliers, right? um I don't know how you would evaluate a tea, like look at the legs on this tea, right? Not sure about that, but he does all of those things through the power of fiction, and says it's quite lovely. And I think he's quite shrewd. He is aware. He sort of like knows that you're in a cat and mouse game when you telling him the information about that stuff. But you also know that he's like a friend, right? Like he's a contact of yours that is in the up arrow down. So yeah, he said I think he's like just pretending to be enamored with the tea and enjoying it so much. And just kind of like nodding along with what you're saying.
And
Yeah.
And I think you see Beatty like sort of swirling the tea, like her tea around, and you get like little bits of like tea in the bottom for where the tea strainer hasn't quite caught everything. And she gives him a look that's like still quite kind, but it has that background thing of like, I'm not fucking around either. And and she says, I was, however, so disheartened. For once we left Yidrik's party, of which we were doing upstanding business relations. One of my friends was picked up from what I can only call prejudice. And I thought you would best know that some of your fine upstanding sentinels were picking up my people for no particular reason. I can't imagine why they would ever suspect Remy of anything untoward. We run a straight business here. I hope you understand.
Yeah, I think he like sort of deflates a little, and he's like, they were probably just jealous of this relationship. Some people are not as convinced as I am that this place is clean, and like takes another sip, right? He's like, but there are bad apples in every tree, and sort of like chuckles. But yeah, and the whole time like this is all being filmed in sort of like a like friendly manner, right? Like he appears soft and stuff, and his eyes are still like a little bit shrewd, but he's clearly like enjoying the company and the tea and everything. And yeah, he's like, sometimes we just need to get rid of bad apples, right? Which is what you wanted to hear. So let's see what your role is, and then we'll see if he like fires these people or what. or just reprimands them.
Awesome. I feel like this is a sway.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it could be a consort too, because you already have him as a friend. But yeah, you're being charming as well, so it's up to you.
I'm trying to be super charming. I'm delightful.
I'm delightful. Yeah. And it's funny too, because he's really enjoying the tea, but it would really be like, tier +1 tea or whatever, right? So it'd be like mediocre tea, basically.
It's all about the company.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. keep losing my
Roll
roller.
window.
Yeah. Oops. What have I done?
Yeah, you rolled it. So you got a
Oh.
mini crit. So you got a 5. Reduce heat is 2. You reduce it by 2, or you can spend a cred to reduce it by 3, or 2 cred to reduce it by 5.
I'll. It's 5. We have 5, right? 5 heat.
Yeah, you have 5. But you don't have to get rid of it all, but it's up to you.
I just wanted to keep my reputation of getting rid of all the heat, but I'll spend a cred to get rid of an extra one.
Oh because you always crit on these things to get 5 of it got. Not this time, huh? Guess you're losing your touch.
I guess so.
Do you have well connected though?
Not yet. I'm working toward it.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say that helps you reduce heat too. Because then you could spend 1 cred and then it actually would be 5, right? Cool. Okay.
And I think we end that scene right with VD like placing a hand atop his as it's cupping this cup of like tea. She says, "I am very glad that I have you looking out for me, Tane."
And then it just like fades to black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that he's the old man Santa Claus guy. Okay, so who else has a scene in mind for downtime?
Let's see. So we're down to what, 2 heat then? Just to make sure I know what we're at. So okay, yeah, so that's 3 heat. You took care of 3 heat, right? Yeah, 3. Okay, so we're down to 2 now. Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren,
how far away are you from that playbook move? How many?
3 thingies.
3 things. Okay, cool. I was gonna say if it was just 1, you could have trained before that and unlocked it, that done it. But yeah.
A shame.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I think still trying to decide what I'm doing here. You have any ideas, J5, what you're gonna do for downtime?
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep with the obsession and work on the long-term project, which is to right now I'm trying to make a friend, right?
Yeah, you're trying to find somebody, I recall.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a hacker friend that's gonna like a neurochemical hacker of some sort.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to indulge in that, trying to use this new sample that I've just got, and try to entice this guy a little bit further. And then I'm going to also try to train in that experience too.
Okay. Sounds good. So how are you trying to get this person?
I think I did something similar last time where it was like they're a professor at their local university and does research in this area, or maybe he's like a, can't remember, and I should probably write it down this time, but maybe he's like a tech guy working for a corporation that I'm trying to bring to our side or bring into the fold of Blue Solace.
Okay. And so how far along are you on your ticks?
Yep. I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm halfway there.
Oh, nice. Cool. So how is it that you're doing this particular one?
I don't know what. I forget how this operates. So this is like
you'll be doing an action to further the clock. You'll get ticks based on how well you roll, but it's still a specific action that you're utilizing to leverage that.
So maybe I come in, maybe I, like I've already made this contact and we've already done some of this stuff. So maybe the action here is like I build some, I rig up some contraption that distills this even further or analyzes this even further. And I want to show them both the contraption and like the results of that. And so this would be like a modify roll.
Okay, sounds good. Roll me a nerdy.
Oh, what?
A nerdy. You're nerding out with him, right?
That's a 5.
Cool. So a 5 gets you a 2 tick, I believe. Let's see. Long-term project, 5, 2 segments.
Okay.
And then you can bump it up with the moolah as well, if you like.
I am fine with that.
Okay. And then you're also training at the same time?
Yes, please.
Cool. And what are you training in?
Hack.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're just exercising those muscles, basically.
Right.
Cool. Like the nerdy. Do the nerdy. How far are you away from getting a hack?
So I get, it's 2 pips under resolve, right?
Yep.
I still have another 4 to go.
Okay. Probably with this XP then, at the end of the session. Cool. What about Silver?
Yeah, I think I'm going to start with some resolve training, and I see this as working towards command. So here's the scene I kind of imagine. I think Silver kind of comes up to Remy after after we're kind of doing stuff for a while here, and just I think I make a comment like, giving them something they already knew, that we'd gone to this party and whatnot, and then legitimizing it by showing them our actual invitations. I think I just say that was smart. I think you're ready for, some more responsibilities here. And I think we just get a couple of scenes of me like having him do, like sending him off on errands, having him do a little more heavy stuff. So I'm just training towards command and being able to do that kind of thing. So I think it's just letting Remy in a little bit tighter, getting a little bit more responsibility, and me just telling Remy what to do. And I think he's probably loving that.
Yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay,
so
cool.
training that, and then I need to do some serious stress relief. So I'm going to indulge my vice. I think as discussed before, this is a drug thing. Like, she just kind of goes off on her own, leaves, doesn't use the company stuff, and buys this stuff, goes and like rents a room somewhere, and I think we get a scene of her like sitting on the edge of this bed before starting on this drug that she uses called Bloom. Remember that little flower that kind of comes out of this thing, and I think we're seeing her like looking at like a little screen and like flipping through it like a picture of like Fatma, that corporate exec that I've been tracking down and trying to get information on, and then we see her flip through some other pictures like an adult male, and like a young child and whatnot. You can just see her face getting like more and more tense and angry, and maybe there's like obituaries, next to these things. And I think the last scene we get is her just like sweat trickling down her face and kind of hands shaking. She kind of like reaches out and hits the button. Plant comes over her face, and she's just out for a while here.
Cool.
Yeah,
I dig it.
So gonna indulge that vice, see how it goes. Submit. So I got a 4, which lets me, how much does that let me get rid of? Is that 4 just how
4.
many I roll? Okay.
Yeah.
And I can spend to do extra, right?
Yeah, it would put it to a 6 because you're already in the 4-5 range.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'll spend 1. I think I upgraded to like the special version of the drug this time because I knew I was gonna need some like I'm just having a real tough time dealing with past shit. So like probably the flower is like some like ridiculous neon like orange as opposed to like the maroon that we've seen recently. So yeah, it's the hardcore stuff this time.
Yeah, it's the hardcore stuff instead of the good stuff.
Bingo. Yeah.
Cool. And is VD also getting rid of? Oh, you don't have any stress anymore, right? Because
I don't, but I was like, maybe I should indulge it anyway, because that's probably what should do that. Oh no, feeling a little bit stressed out. Gotta take some drugs.
Well, you did already recently get ahead of it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I have a plan. I have a plan in mind. Don't worry.
Okay.
Once,
Oh, I'm gonna get high.
once silver is finished.
Okay.
I'm all done.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, I was trying to figure out which friend to go to or who to go to, so maybe you could help me out. But I think Vidi is a bit anxious that they're gonna run out of supply some point soon, and so would like to find someone who can let her know where the next act of God is gonna come from. So she can take the crew out to harvest some more raw supplies to then make into our drugs, since holy shit, that's a process to go through.
Okay.
So
Does
yeah.
anyone have contacts already like that?
Hmm. Like, is there an organization that keeps track of, like, that their thing is keeping track of acts of God here or anything like that?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
I could maybe go to, I don't know if Salia keeps this kind of data around, but I do know someone who knows stuff.
What's that? What is that one?
She's just an information broker. On the sheet it's a data broker.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
But
that sounds good. And is that the person that's your friend as well?
yeah, she and I go.
Okay, so yeah, what is
Way
Elsa
back.
like? Shit, I go way back. Yeah, we're besties.
I think she probably knows me well enough to know that I look a bit too like golden sunshine seeping from my veins. Like I look affected by this drug. I look way too happy and cheerful, and there's a glint in my eye that wasn't there before. So she could probably infer something about my disposition. But I think I bring over some like blue oolong tea that we can share together as I inquire as to if she knows like where an act of God may crop up. Maybe she has that information.
Do you have an idea of what she looks like and all that kind of stuff?
Pardon?
Do you have an idea of what she looks like and all that, or?
Oh, I guess not really.
Might be.
Any cool pins?
Yeah, maybe this one. This. No?
Oh, no, that's an for to load. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Okay, I thought you looked and you were like, I don't know.
Oh, no. No, your pins are always amazing. That looks great.
Okay. So she's bald and has like angular features. She's got like a cowl neckline, sort of like a hoodie, but sort of like futuristic, so cut like slashed in a V. And she's got tights on with these like cool boots that aren't tied up. And so where do you think you meet her?
I feel like she doesn't get out a lot. I don't know how she gets all of her data, but I feel like this is a house call. I wouldn't put her out of the way to meet. So I'll bring along like a little to-go bag of like whatever pastries that we've recently started selling at the Blue Oolong, and some tea so we can have some tea and pastries.
Why don't we have like a little bit of crossover and you take her to a community garden?
Oh yeah, actually that's perfect. Let's go to the garden.
Yeah, because there's a gazebo in there.
Nice.
Yeah, and we'll even see on camera or whatever the constant gardeners are there, like actually like tending the garden or whatever, right? But y'all are just beautiful. Like in the gazebo, there's 2 benches, and then there's also like to the side, there's like a small table with 2 chairs, and above you, there's like all these overgrowth of green that's just been like allowed to kind of grow as it pleases. Like above you, there was like, it's one of those gazebos that has like this circle in the middle with like iron rungs that go out of it, but there's been some vine overgrowth to the side of the gazebo, and it's run all the way up and then kind of taken over the top part as well. So you don't really see those iron rungs. It all just looks like brilliant green, so that when the light goes through it, it's not direct sunlight because it's being blocked by all the foliage, but you still get like some nice interior light going on. And
Lovely.
out back, we see Darren's character tattooing somebody in the shed. Yeah, and then the camera kind of like pans around, so it's inside the gazebo, and you're meeting with Elsa. Yeah, Elsa. And so let's see. I wonder if this is like mechanically a long-term project then? Like, are you setting her on the path of finding this out for you, or you're just hoping she already knows and she just tells you, or like what action?
I guess if she doesn't, yeah, I guess I can start a project because I don't think this. I feel like Elsa deals more in like people data, so this might be a thing she has to like.
Yeah, like I think
investigate.
I think data brokers would be like, I am looking for this kind of information, and then other ones would be like, I got that, right? And then they like make the exchange. So she has some data, but not necessarily this, and then she would kind of go fishing for you, right, to get it.
Yeah, totally.
And you're looking for a sort of like a faction that deals with people who track acts of God or can predict them, and like the meteorologists or whatever, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So
what do you do quickly?
What?
As long as I can do it quickly, because I need to know that I'm gonna be okay if we ever run into stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just say it's like a 4 o'clock then, and we'll see how motivated she is by this action.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are you consorting? Are you swaying? What is VD doing?
This feels like it more of a consort, like drawing upon one's connections to get what something from someone.
And then make a 4 o'clock, and the 4 o'clock will be getting this information. And it could be you get all of this in one thing with this action, or it could be you roll poorly and she starts the tracks of it, and etc. etc. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, I like Aaron. Gardeners?
Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
So how do I roll for clocks again? Oh, I just for consort, right? And then
yeah, for consort, if that's what you're doing it.
Cool. Oh, jeez.
What you get to? So you got 1 tick out of 4, unless you want to pay more money.
No.
So you can, or you can do spend another coin to do an additional downtime action, or you can spend more coin to just bump up the like actual result of this particular roll.
Also, because I'm a fixer, I get an extra downtime action for being amazing.
Oh, well, there you go. So maybe it transitions from you asking her about this, or maybe it transitions from y'all walking and talking about this to actually you buttering her up in the actual gazebo and giving her the tea and the crumpets and pastries and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds
the
great.
one is just the walk.
Let me try this again. Might be a long walk.
Yeah. You can always push yourself. Oh, instead it's a crit, of course. Okay, so you more than fill it up. you do one, and then yeah. Apparently, when Vidi has tea with people, they just do what the fuck she wants. So yeah, what is it that you say to Elsa exactly as you're buttering her up and you're drinking the sapphire tea and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. It's probably something to the effect of like she says, I can feel that us at the Blue Oolong are on the cusp of something great. Like we're going places, and I foresee that being mutually beneficial to the two of us. So if you could kindly like help us in our endeavor to find more product or find more acts of God that we can convert into products, then I can definitely see this going well for both of us.
Okay. Let's see. So I think she like leans in and let's see. I'm just looking. Yes, this was good. So I think she like leans in and she says like she puts her hand over yours and she's like, what you're speaking of should not be spoken of like out in the open, right? And it's kind of funny because you're in a gazebo, right? So, but it's to show like just how kind of like paranoidish she is about that, right? But yeah, she says like these people, there is such a thing in this very district, but they keep to hidden corners. They're said to be forged that come here. They're a special kind of data broker, ones that only deal with acts of God, and they're said to be supernatural almost in their predictions. They're so accurate. But they're also known for being somewhat they're known to be like drifters basically. As soon as somebody employs them and they get the information, then they vanish to a new place. And nobody knows why they are so secret because their data, if they were just to remain in place and start like a business, a legitimate business, and she like kind of chuckles, just like me, is they would be making far more money than anybody. So the underworld does not trust them. And then she pauses and she's like, I don't trust them. But I happen to have come across this information just the other day, and I will give it to you. But you should know that you should be careful. And she has a like a piece of smart paper, and she puts your hand over it so the paper gets coded to your signature. And then she sort of like takes out what looks to be kind of like a tarot card and puts it over it. And you see this picture is on the tarot card. And she says that from what I'm told, they will only look like this at one time, and the date and the time and the place is on this paper. And she says, with this, though, I think that you owe me.
Of course, I wouldn't come to you for any sort of handout. And I will, of course, do whatever it is you need of me.
Well, maybe when you're climbing the social ladder, because your leverage was like, we're gonna be big one day, right? She's just like, remember your friends, basically, right? She's not wanting something immediately, but she obviously bought into your like, we're gonna be tier 4 one day speech.
Of course, Elsa. I could never forget you. And she laughs.
And also, as part of the tarot card thing, it's like it's strange because it is like hand drawn. It's like black and white, and it's almost as if like a artist like picked up some like coal or dirt or something and sketched this thing. Like, so they saw the person and did it like immediately, and then put it on this like bit of paper that is pretty premium. So it's like really weird. Like, it's like it'd be like buying like an actual piece of paper instead of smart paper, and then like, you know, using really shitty materials to paint something on it. Yeah. So yeah, you get what you wanted. And what do you want for extra effect for your crit?
Oh, what's on the table?
Um
um,
yeah, what is on the table? I don't know what you would get with an extra crit with that.
What faction is this person from?
They don't have a faction. They're just like an independent data broker. You could
Maybe
have
where
her.
the constant gardeners are hiding.
Yeah, right here, right now. So funny story. You're actually like where they live right now. Okay, gotta go. Yeah, maybe a bit more information. Yeah. Is that what you want? Like a more than the meet and time and location or something?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
That sounds useful.
She'll say then.
Like, what do they want? What are their hopes and dreams?
Yeah, I don't think she. Yeah, what are their dreams? I don't think she knows that because she said like they're mysterious, right?
Yeah.
And she doesn't know that kind of stuff. But she'll say that like she obtained this information from a boy that she employs, like basically like an urchin, and that's where the tarot card came from. He's a. She chuckles and she's like, he's a good artist, but not much more than that, really. And basically, he lucked out seeing this person, like their movements, and then did a hurried sketch and had overheard the conversation that they like he followed the person. They met with somebody that they didn't see in a similar manner that you're doing right now, basically, and then quickly sketched it, and then gave the information to Elsa and got like a good sweet payday from it. But as part of the bonus, then maybe he tells you where they came from, like where he started tracking them, so that you know both the meat and where they're coming from.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I think they came from, what would be a cool place? Maybe yeah, maybe they came from the White District, which is like the like super hoity-toity fancy thing. And they came from like a specific high-rise building, something like that.
Excellent.
So in a different district, but just that says a lot about them, because it would be like, it's even more strange, right? Because they're like a rich person who's like a part ostensibly of a faction, a Ford who can predict the weather, who ostensibly don't need money. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff to chew on. Oh, and yeah, maybe as part of the bonus, I'll tell you what their faction is. They're called the Stray Light.
Ooh.
One word.
Stray Light. Okay, what section should they go in the faction thing? Is it
Let me check.
Underworld or Institute?
Yeah, it's not an institution for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, it would be Underworld.
Okay. And you said the Stray Light?
Stray Light, yeah. 2-3 strong.
2-3. Okay.
And right now, I guess you'd just be neutral with them. They don't know that you exist. Who dis? Who dis?
That'll change very soon.
What? What?
But that'll change very soon.
Yeah, apparently. Cool. So, do you tell people this, or when you get back, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I think I'll tell people this, but it's not under. I'll see if my internet's dying. I tell everyone this under the guise of like, hey, I know where our next score is going to come from. So it's like, strip up and list the whole like, I am doing this because I'm worried that I won't be able to get my next fix.
Yeah, because basically you've committed all your other product to the porters.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think
Interesting.
we sold a good chunk of it at least, right? Like all that 12 cred worth, or that 12 jewels worth.
Mm-hmm. So is this a score or?
I don't know. So like would VD be coming back like wanting us to like do a score against this group, or like I think or are we interested in like, I mean, this is a group that tracks down storms. If we could get like an actual solid working relationship with them, that could massively benefit us. That would be really cool. Where we could get a heads up on storms, and we could do stuff that will help them as well, like some kind of trade where we could do a job on their behalf for information about storms or something like that. I don't know, just an idea.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It sounds like an interesting kind of like social score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a social connection.
It's like once they've a deal with someone, they just take off. So,
So, do you think it would be a social plan?
And we don't know what they desire, right? Like we don't have a sense of their.
So far, they've basically, you know, that they've taken jewels from people and given them information, but every time they've done so, they've disappeared afterwards, right? This is sort of just like a very lucky thing that some kid saw and pursued this person and got a hefty payday from it. It's all very convenient.
Mm.
what are we pondering?
I'm trying to think like what they would want, right? Just from
well, this is what gathering information is probably for.
Yeah, we could do that, and then I'm just pondering like how do we interact with them without them like disappearing on us, or like, you know, how can we entice them enough to like not just have it be a one-time thing, and maybe it's established like an actual back and forth relationship over time here.
Why don't we give them the wind sock? The wind sock that sort of collects the energy of an active god. Like they can't use it without us, but it's like a peace offering. Like we can do this together.
I think that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Or I wonder. Yeah. Huh. I think it'll really depend on what they want. Yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, I like that idea though. I think that'll be We could definitely tie that in somehow. I dig it.
So how does one go about gathering information?
Well, you know where they live, but you're not allowed in that district.
Right, that's a problem. Yeah, what's the process for help for us, like trying to get from district to district here? This is the first time we've tried to do it without an invitation.
Yeah, so you could perhaps get somebody to hack your nanites so that you're allowed in that district, because basically what happens is the people in that district get coded for that district, and that's where they should remain, basically. But you do have that invitation, so you could always use that as the point of modification to see like how you would modify your nanites and then do that.
Question about the nanites and like how they let you into these things. Is it like your nanites get coded to like a specific section and that's all you can do, or is it like a tiered thing where once you get like your nanites get upgraded to a certain tier, then you're allowed access to like this set of areas of the city, and in order to get access to like a higher end one, you need to get your tier up higher? Like which way, how does it work? Is it like exclusive or?
It depends on what like if you should have access to other districts, then you can, but most people are coded to a specific district.
Okay.
The citizenry there are coded to that district in particular.
Gotcha.
And there are sentinels can pretty much go wherever they want. Tracers can go wherever they want. So there's definitely some specific people that have nanites that let them traverse whatever district that they like.
Okay.
So maybe a long-term, like a 3 steps down the road kind of goal for us, if I'm looking at the our faction sheet, is to go for foreign market. And here I'm thinking of it in terms of getting our nanites coded so that we can cross, so that our nanites don't respond to whatever barriers arise between districts. And in order to do that, we need to befriend some hackers, which is something that Bergen has already been working on. And maybe I can pay, we're still in downtime, right?
Yep.
So I could try to, I can pay to do another, can I do that twice?
To train?
The long-term project?
You can't train twice, but you could work on your long-term project if you pay for another role, yeah. Otherwise, we're just in free play, and you could go still do these things. You're just not safe when you do them.
Yeah, let's try. Well, if this is what we want to do, I'm willing to spend a jewel, try to do a long-term project again. I have 3 pips left on that thing, and the connection is to the hive mind, the hacker collective underneath the honeycomb wall.
Is this something you'd come to the group and ask, like, do we want to be doing this? Because like, if so, I can imagine the group agreeing. Let's spend a a jewel out of like the crew coffers, so you don't have to spend it out of yours if you want.
And how much is VD telling people to?
I feel like 99% of it.
Okay, that's good. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want that out of the crew stuff, you can take it out of there. We got some there.
Yeah, if that's the path we want to take, I think that works.
Yeah,
I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, it sounds like a very complicated plan that I've totally thought of 10 steps ahead.
Yeah.
I like it.
Y'all like that complicated. What?
I said, but it's not a crazy plan. It's just multi-stepped.
Yeah. Okay, so how are you perhaps clinching the deal? Maybe roll first and then we'll fill in the fiction.
Yeah, so what am I trying to do here? So yeah, again, I think it's still like a maybe it's me trying to tinker with the nanites. Maybe I've got these nanites from the that I've scraped off this guy from the mirrored, the arm juice, and I'm like, I have a sample of their nanites, and I'm trying to I have a vision of him, like, obviously you can't hold a nanite in a finger, but I have a vision of him like trying to toss a nanite like across a district and to see whether or not it reacts to this thing.
You just like inject it into some gene hacked fruit or something and then just
Exactly.
whip it. That's awesome.
Getting rid of bad apples. I'm stuffing them into apples and just tossing them to see if they explode or not.
Okay. I thought that this long-term project was to get hackers.
Yes. So the goal here, what I'm envisioning is that I'm trying to get them as friends, right? So I'm trying to like connect with them in this capacity.
Yeah.
In part because this is a longer term project in terms of me tracking down this orange juice shit.
Okay.
But I need to decide first.
Okay.
So it's a way of like luring them in. Like I have something that you might be interested in.
Okay. So this is something that everybody would want, right?
I think so. Yes.
Cool. Okay. So roll. What do you think that is?
Well, if it's about the like the piece of technology that I've created, then tinker, and if not, then probably like a consort.
Yeah, I think it's probably more of a modify, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the actual challenge is like yeah.
You don't know how socially awkward I am.
Okay, well, for now we'll go with modify and see what happens.
Is there do we do devil's bargains in downtime? Is that a thing that happens?
You could, yeah. You could do a ripple. What would be a ripple though? Do you have one in mind?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they could totally like steal your IP or like steal like rights to whatever you're working on.
Oh yeah, that's true. You don't get credit for your actual invention. They're just like, we invented it. Or someone in there, right? Some dick is just like, oh, wow, yeah. I take it.
I love that a lot, and I want to play. I almost want this to fail so that I can play the character as having been besmirched by these people. But
yeah, sure. So you want access to the community even though one of the members is going to discredit you, right? Cool. Sounds good. Roll it. That's a pretty intense ripple. 6. So there you go. 3 pips.
Awesome. Okay, guys, I got some hackers on our side.
Yeah. So you whip this fruit, nothing happens, and you're like, yeah, right? And cool. So maybe the closing shot is you going down into that place again, right? Like, but you've got something with you that is the nanites, right? And then that's like the close scene.
Right.
Cool. Let's do the XPs then. Let's start in reverse order. Lauren, Faint. Do you want to do XP?
Yeah, totally. So I've already marked off my disparate roll.
Good, good.
I addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy. I think I tried to do that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it was more than try, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a definite 2, right? I mean, did that many times throughout the whole session here.
Cool. I express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yeah, I think so. Beliefs, drives. Trying to think of specifics, but I know you. I mean, just your general approach to everything was kind of along that route. Just the schmoozing you did, and everything that's just so who you are and what you value.
Well, I think the drives is, for one, it's you specifically wanting to get more of the drug that you want, right? And then background was probably interacting with Elsa, right? Because she's part of it. That was the first time we saw her as well.
We're keeping Fleur out of the mix, almost like a protective.
Yeah, that could be a belief or a drive right there too. Yeah, even though Liv just didn't show up because he was sleeping, right? But well, he messaged me first. I don't want to say like he just didn't show up, but like he wasn't here. That in the fiction though, how you dealt with it was pretty good. Yeah. And then what about issues from vice root trauma?
I think so. I was.
Well, you got traumatized.
I got traumatized. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's yeah, that would be a 2, I think. You got traumatized and now you're like, I need that drug, right? So,
And is the leaning into being obsessed an additional XP trigger, or does that come under struggling with vice and trauma and stuff?
what do you mean? What is you're obsessed is your vice, right?
No, obsessed
is it
with
obsessed as trauma?
Oh, that's your trauma. Yeah, yeah. But so
Yeah.
you could only get 2 from it though, so you got 2, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is I wasn't sure if it was like an additional trigger or if it's wrapped into like struggling with.
Yeah, it's in
trauma and
that
stuff.
whole thing.
Ah, cool. Awesome.
Cool. So you got 6, I guess, right? The full complement. Okay, so what about our fuse, Silver?
Let's see. Okay, taking a look. I already marked my desperate action, so got that on there. Let's see, and then address the challenge with stealth or evasion. Definitely evading that like gunshot. I think was some serious evasion, running up the wall and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it's I changed it to stealth or precision.
Oh,
and
sorry.
You definitely did that anyway, right? Like the whole kicking the thing in front of them and reacting to the guard and all that kind of stuff, I think was
cool.
And initially you all were trying to be stealthy. So
yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay. Yeah, I didn't notice that change. Sorry about that. Okay.
No worries.
Cool. So what do we think for that, 1 or 2 or
2?
2? Okay. Express beliefs, drives, heritage, background.
You're all military organized. Your dead man's carries and your
Totally.
Yeah.
Walking up walls and shit.
Yeah. Oh, and I think specifically like asking for like, okay, I'm used to like grenades and stuff like that. Give me a grenade with our drug in it. That flashback. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yep. So I take 2 for that then, I guess. Since that was a couple of times. Okay. And then struggled with issues from vice, root, or traumas. I don't think I struggled with any of them. So no, I don't think I get anything from that one. Unless anybody else thinks so. I can't see it.
What's your root if you're a tipper?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't think of anything specific that I struggled with on that.
Does it indulging in a vice, or like, didn't you go after Fatima? Is that?
I didn't go after him anytime this time. I think it was just kind of a little flavor setting for me indulging my vice. And I don't think indulging a vice counts for that, does it?
No, it has to cause problems, basically.
Right. And I didn't overindulge or anything, so. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. So nothing for that one, and I'm good then.
Okay. J5.
I was not desperate this time.
Nope.
And did I address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem?
Yep.
As usual. Yeah.
Thank you.
A little bit of both, actually, this time.
Yeah, can you take 3 XP?
Yeah. Express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Background's in trade, and there was a lot of like a lot of dealing going on.
Yeah, totally.
Particularly at the end, maybe.
And I feel like getting hacking friends and stuff is kind of like in line with that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
1.
And I feel like you mentioned something about being a child star at some point, but I forget exactly what the context was.
Yeah, what was that? I don't remember. Must not have been important.
Was it about? I think it was about you wanting credit for it, or something about being, your long-term goal being famous, and.
Oh yeah, when we were trying to figure out what our next step was as a group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So 1, 2.
Boy, I don't know. What seems fair?
One seems.
I think it could go either way, but
What do you think, Aaron?
I'll just do one is fine.
Okay. And
And I don't know that I struggled with issues from my vice or traumas during the session.
what about your root?
Oh, roots. Where's my root?
You're the Rich White Foundation. I don't think that caused you problems.
I don't think so.
I was ready to hit on that if you didn't get all the ticks, though. Why don't you go back to the White District? We're real hackers over her.
That's harsh, bro.
Yeah, well, you got him. I just love that you took the ripple of being totally, not maybe totally, but discredited by the people that you got in with.
Sorry.
That was perfect.
I was like, that's worse than what I would have come up with for sure. Like, okay, so you get in, but some of them don't think you're real. Okay. Cool.
That would drive me crazy.
Jesse, do you want to do the wired one real quick?
Yeah, let's do that. Sure. Heading down to that. Okay. All right. Did we acquire product supply? Execute clandestine / covert. Wait, now that I got to look at the actual sheet thing, I realized that it's probably slightly different.
No, it's the same.
Sorry. It's exactly the same?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We secured us some territory today.
We did.
Yep.
It looks like it looks a little different.
Oh, really?
Oh wait, no. I'm looking at something. No, it's not. I was looking at the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Okay, so did we acquire product supply, execute clandestine / covert sales, or secure new territory? And we definitely secured new territory. That was kind of the focus of the whole thing.
Yep.
So was that 1 or 2 for that one?
Well, I think 2. The whole thing was about it.
Okay, that works. That makes sense. And then did we contend with challenges above our current station? And we're a tier above us, right?
Yeah, they were 1 tier above you.
Okay, so then take 1 for that. Does that sound reasonable?
Yep.
Okay.
What about VD's work with the Sentinels?
Oh, that's a good point.
Was that a challenge?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. How do
it
we
was just
frame that?
reducing heat, right?
Yeah, it was just reducing heat. Yeah. I'm okay with just leaving that at 1. I can see how just reducing heat probably might not be enough. So bump it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one? And let me take a look at our reputations. We've got daring, hard, and clandestine.
I think we had 2 of those 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Do you want to take two for that one?
I think so.
Okay. So 2 there. And did we express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
I like to think so. I like the exchange at the beginning about whether or not this would be a gun-toting mission or a clandestine mission.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think going, I mean, I know it's turf, but I think going specifically after the Vice Den is incredibly symbolic of just what we are about in general. So I think that's a pretty cool.
And the manner in which we did it, which was like, can we also get these guys hooked on our drug whilst employing this plan?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So take 2 for that one, I guess.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So that fills it up, but it doesn't put us into the next one. I guess I'm not sure how that. Yeah. So that filled up all the things. I don't know if that gives us an advance or we have to wait till it ticks over into the next to be able to.
That's right. That's the full thing. You can take it in advance.
Okay. So then I'll just clear all those and take an advance. Okay.
Yeah, well, you can just wait and see if Lou is here next time, and then you can talk about it.
Yeah, I'll just write down that we got an advance and need to decide about it, but that doesn't mean we all get 2 stash.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, so go ahead and grab your stash, and I'll just put on the sheet that we have an advance. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Cool. So I guess that's it.
All right.
That was a pretty neat and tidy session, I'd say.
I liked it. That was very fun.
It started going a little south, but then you guys pulled it off.
Yeah, we
Oh,
pulled it together.
maybe next time I won't tell you the exact plan you should do, though. I was too excited. I was like, what if they did this?
Yeah. I love that. I love it.
And I like me being like, oh, so I guess you just walk up and start beating it and shit. Hey, Aaron. You're like, I don't think so. Probably not.
I think of him as like a cool guy who like licks his fingers and then does his eyelashes back, and he's just like,
Nice.
magic.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop the broadcast.